everyone, and welcome back to my channel, to a brand new video. So today's video is going to be discussing homeschooling, and I also have something that I want to add on the end of this video that I hope you guys stick around for. So let's talk about homeschooling. So the last time I went to school full time was around 2 years ago, 2 years and a bit, which was in year 9. And I was pulled out of school in year 9 for obviously my eating disorder, and edict pulled me out of school because they had to put me on strict bed rest. And this was something that really I struggled with at first, but then it became a comfort to be at home, and it really helped me in the long run being at home. And then when they tried to reintegrate me back into school, it was near me. It was near when I was near healthy weight, but I wasn't healthy weight just yet. And they tried to do it as a gradual kind of thing. And obviously they wanted me back into school because of A, my education, and B, because of my social life. But majority of my social life was already ruined because of the fact that a lot of my friends, as awful as it sounds, kind of left me because of just everything, to be fair. I think it was just too much for them to handle, and they really couldn't do it. So I lost a few of my friends, so my social life I didn't really care about. I was quite content staying at home with just my mom and my dog every single day, and that became a comfort to me. That became like my safety blanket. So going back to school was absolutely terrifying. So then we made a plan for the school to go back on a Monday and a Wednesday, and when I did these sort of things, it was absolutely terrifying. I might do a first school story kind of thing going back to school, but it was really, really scary, and I hated it. And then when I went back into school, obviously I lost a few of my friends, so I didn't have the same kind of support there. Some people made comments about certain things, and it really upset me. And when I kept going, I went back to these days for about a few weeks, and then honestly, I couldn't handle it, to be fair. It set me back a lot, and I started losing weight again. And obviously my team started noticing that I was losing weight, and I just said to them that I can't do this anymore. And then they were like, we'll try just Wednesday going in, because obviously you still need school. And so then I tried to go back in on Wednesday still, and I just relapsed. And it was a really, really bad relapse. It was one that set me back loads, and I really could not handle it at all. And then when I was took out of school for a little bit as well, again, when I was back home at my routine, my mom, my dog, everything, I was comforted again, and I was supported again, and I was able to gain weight again. And then I was still set back though with the schooling situation, because they still wanted me to go back to school, and I still wasn't a healthy weight, and I think that was something that was really annoying me a bit. And it was how low do I have to be in order to stay out of school? And that was something that really fueled my ED, because I really wanted to stay at a low weight because I didn't want to go back to school. And school really scared me. It wasn't just the fact of going into school, it was everything. They wanted me to eat in a lunch, they wanted me to eat in a room with a teacher. And to be honest, I didn't trust anyone to watch me eat except for my mom at this time. And then just everything was just so awful, and I couldn't handle it whatsoever of going back into school. And as well as, obviously at this time I wasn't diagnosed with OCD yet, but OCD was becoming a big part of my life and my routines and everything, and my times was really important, and all my times would become all messed up if I was going to school. Anyways, when I got out of school, and it was just this time of just complete silence, I had nothing from the school. It was just silence, basically. That's how I describe it. The school was trying to sort out tutoring for me, but that didn't happen until 4 months later. And I finally got a tutor named Carol, and she was the most wonderful person I have literally ever met. She helped me so much with my confidence, and she taught me a lot of things too. I feel as if I learned more with her than I ever did in my entire school life. She learned me loads of math tips, English tips. She literally teaches me everything. But unfortunately, the tutoring had to stop because I had a letter from the doctor stating that I had anorexia and everything like that. But they wanted a letter from a psychiatrist. And the only way I could get a letter from the psychiatrist was if I went back to CAMHS and edict and was on their rotor basically to get a letter, and I did not want to do that whatsoever. I did not want to get tangled back up with CAMHS and edict because I knew from well that that would just make me relapse again, and I just couldn't handle it, and I just didn't want that. So I was like, I will try and work with the school to go back to school. And this was when we had a meeting, and basically this lovely teacher basically said that we've had students who have been in your case before and with different mental health conditions, and we're able to work with them. And basically what I do every single day is I go to school to pick up work and I complete the work at home. I had to drop 3 subjects, so I had to drop art, business and ICT, which I wasn't really happy with the business and ICT. I wasn't too bothered with the art because it's not something really I need in life, but I really wanted my business and ICT GCSE, but I was unable to do that because he basically mentioned that the exam would just be far too stressful, and that I basically, since I missed the entire year 10, I didn't have any art skills, so trying to do an art exam when you don't know how to draw probably isn't the best thing to do. But basically, I go ahead and I collect work and I complete the work at home, and then I bring it back and then they give me work, and that's how it kind of works. And I do everything on my own. I just watch YouTube videos for advice. I don't really have a teacher, so I'm basically teaching myself everything. So I'm not really expecting high grades in my GCSEs at all, but they basically, when I did mocks and stuff, I've got mocks back and I've passed them. And at my health and social, actually, I got really high, which I was extremely proud of, bearing in mind the fact that I missed like year 10 and year 9, and I just I'm doing everything on my own or from my own brain. So I was quite proud of myself with that, but I'm also kind of like a perfectionist in a way, and it really bugs me at the fact that I can't do perfect on my GCSEs, and I know from well I can't do perfect on my GCSEs because I'm not being taught properly, so I'm not really expecting stuff anymore. I was kind of just accepted that I can't be perfect and that I'm not really expecting so highly of myself that I probably was before. So I'm going to end this video here. Before I go, I want to say something about recovery. And some people ask me where I am with recovery. And I would say, so I'm definitely not at the beginning of recovery because I've been in recovery now for, I would say, around 2 years. But I feel like only recently I've started to put everything into recovery. And so I'm definitely not at the beginning of recovery, but I'm definitely not at the end of being fully recovered yet. I'd say I'm somewhere in the middle. But recently, well, actually it was last night, I watched a video, and when I was watching this video, it was a girl, and I would say she's at the beginning of the recovery stage. And watching her and watching everything that she's going through in the beginning of recovery, it kind of made me realize that I never want to go through it again. I kind of want to never ever have to go through the beginning of recovery again, and having to go through just reliving everything is just, it really, really scares me. And I feel like one of my biggest fears now is a relapse, and I feel like recently, although I'm doing really well with my recovery and although I try extremely hard, I feel like there's still a kind of thing that is stopping me, and I feel like the only way to be fully recovered is to kind of just listen to this. And that is, so I could eat everything in a day and then get hungry again, and to me, I don't follow a meal plan, but I feel like I still have that set goals of free snacks, free meals in my head, and when I go past that, then that's when that guilt kind of thing starts to creep up extremely, and my anniversary starts to get extremely loud. And I know that I need to try and give my body everything it needs. Otherwise, I know for a fact that I won't get fully recovered. So what I'm going to start doing, starting from tomorrow, is I'm going to give recovery 100%. Not 99%, 100%. And that means listening to all my craves, all my extreme hunger, because that's the only way it will ever go away if I give my body the food it needs. And if that means I need to eat 6 breakfasts, 6,000 calories until my mind and brain and body is satisfied and trusting me again, so be it. It needs it, it wants it. And then I know that somewhat down the line, when I start to, when my body starts to trust me again and everything, I know that my body will trust me sometime in the future, but the only way that my body will ever trust me is if I give it what it needs. And I know that them cravings will start to satisfy and start to settle down, because I know that after I do a cheat day, my body feels a lot more satisfied. So I just imagine if I keep that up for days, weeks even, I know from well that my body will be able to stay satisfied, and it will know that it's not going to be restricted to this food. Because every time I might say that, oh well, I've just had this so I don't need that, it's still a form of restriction. Although I'm not meaning the bad intentions, it's still restricting myself from that food that my body's craving. So I know that I need to give recovery 100%. So stay around for more videos, and stay around for a lot more food videos and a lot more eating whatever the hell I want, because I deserve this and I need this, so I'm gonna give my body this. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and goodbye.